She is not going to say it. That is the part most men never fully accept. She is not going to walk up to you and announce that she wants you to close the distance, take the lead, and make something happen. That is not how it works. That is not how it has ever worked. And yet she is communicating exactly that clearly, repeatedly, through every signal her body and behavior are sending. The message is there. It has been there. The only question is whether you know how to read it. Here is what nobody talks about honestly. There is a window, a real time-limited window, where a woman has already made her decision internally, where she has already chosen you in her mind, and where she is actively waiting for you to recognize it and act. She is not passive in this moment. She is doing things, specific things, behaviors that are designed, not always consciously, to make the path forward as clear as possible without her having to say the words directly. And if nothing happens during that window, if you miss it or hesitate past the point of return, something shifts inside her. Not anger, not rejection, something quieter and harder to reverse. She concludes that either you are not interested or you are not the kind of man who leads. And once that conclusion forms, the window does not reopen. It simply closes, quietly, without ceremony, and you will not even realize it happened until the energy between you has already changed. I have watched this dynamic play out in more conversations than I can count. Men who looked back on interactions and finally understood what was happening in real time that they completely missed. Not because the signals were absent, because they did not know what signals actually look like when a woman is telling you, without words, that she wants you to move. By the way, where are you watching from? Drop your city or country below. I'm Isabella, and I always want to know where this community is tuning in from around the world. Now, let's get into it, because the first thing she does is something most men interpret as completely normal conversation, and that is exactly why they miss what it is actually telling them. Before we get into the 5 things, there is something important to understand about why women communicate desire this way in the first place. It is not a game. It is not manipulation. It is emotional self-protection operating exactly as it was designed to. When a woman feels attracted to a man and wants him to act on it, she faces a real vulnerability. If she states it directly and he does not respond the way she hopes, the exposure is total. The rejection is explicit. The discomfort has nowhere to hide. So instead, her behavior begins doing the communicating for her. She creates conditions. She removes obstacles. She sends signals that allow the situation to move forward naturally if he is paying attention, while giving her emotional cover if he is not. Understanding this is not about exploiting her communication style. It is about honoring it. When you recognize what she is doing and you respond with calm confidence and genuine intention, you are not catching her out. You are meeting her exactly where she is, and that is what she was hoping for all along. Here are the 5 things she does when she wants you to make a move, but will not say it directly. Stay through all 5 because the last one is the clearest green light she can send, and most men either miss it entirely or freeze when it happens. Number 1, she manufactures reasons to be physically close to you. Distance is a decision. Every time she positions herself near you, every time she closes the space between you in a way that did not need to happen, she clears throat, making a choice that her attraction is driving. And the version of this you need to pay attention to is not when proximity happens naturally. It is when she creates it without a practical reason. She leans across you to reach something she could have walked around to get. She sits closer than the available space required. She finds a reason to show you something on her phone, which means her body has to come toward yours. She walks beside you close enough that your arms make contact and she does not adjust away from it. She uses conversation as a vehicle to close physical distance. She comes to stand near you when she could have stayed where she was. Every one of these moments looks innocent in isolation, but they are not accidental. When a woman is not interested in a man, she maintains comfortable social distance almost automatically. Her body naturally keeps space between them. When she is interested, the opposite happens. Her body begins moving toward him without her consciously directing it to. The attraction overrides the default. The critical thing to notice is what happens after she closes the distance. Does she stay there? Does she find reasons to remain in that proximity rather than naturally drifting away? That sustained closeness, not a single moment, but a pattern of staying near you, is her body telling you that the space between you is something she wants removed. She is doing the physical work. She is waiting for you to do the rest. Number 2, She holds eye contact longer than the conversation requires. Normal eye contact in conversation has a rhythm. People look away, look back. It flows naturally and neither person thinks about it consciously. But when something shifts emotionally, when attraction has entered the interaction, that rhythm changes. The look away happens later. The return happens faster. And there are moments where the eye contact simply holds, longer than necessary, long enough that both people feel it. That sustained eye contact is not comfortable in the way that normal conversation is comfortable. It carries a different quality, attention, a weight that does not exist in casual interaction, and she knows it is there. She is maintaining it deliberately, even if she could not fully articulate why. It is her way of creating a moment between you that language cannot produce, a moment that says something is happening here, and she wants to know if you feel it too. The version of this that carries the most weight is what happens after she looks away. If she looks down and then back up at you slowly, that specific movement, the downward glance followed by a return to your eyes, is one of the most consistent nonverbal signals of romantic interest that researchers have documented across cultures. It is instinctive, it is not rehearsed, and it almost always means the same thing. When you catch her in one of these extended moments of eye contact and you hold it back with calm, steady confidence, you are communicating something she needs to feel before she will trust you to lead. You are showing her that you are not rattled, that you are present, that you are not afraid of what is happening between you. That quality alone can shift the entire energy of an interaction. Do not be the man who looks away first every single time. Number 3, she touches you and then watches how you respond. This is one of the most deliberate things a woman does when she wants you to move, and most men completely misread the moment when it happens. They register the touch, they feel it, and then they do nothing with it. They either freeze, laugh it off, or continue the conversation as if nothing occurred, and she is left watching that response and drawing a conclusion from it, because that is exactly what is happening. When she initiates physical contact, a hand on your arm, a touch on your shoulder, her leg making contact with yours and staying there, she is not simply being friendly. She is running a test, not a manipulative one, a genuinely human one. She is extending something across the space between you and watching what you do with it. Does he lean in or pull back? Does he reciprocate or ignore it? Does he seem comfortable with closeness or does he immediately create distance again? Her entire read of whether you want her, whether you are confident enough to receive her interest, and whether it is safe to go further is being formed in the seconds after that touch happens. She is not just touching you. She is asking you a question through her body, and your physical response is the answer. The right response is not to lunge forward. It is to receive the contact with calm confidence. Stay present in the moment. Let your body language communicate that her closeness is welcome, not surprising, not overwhelming, simply natural. If the moment is right, reciprocate. A touch returned with the same energy says more than any verbal response ever could. It tells her that you are paying attention, that you are not afraid of what she is offering, and that you are ready to lead. Number 4, she creates situations where you are alone together. This one is so deliberate that when men finally understand it, they almost cannot believe how many times they walked straight through it without recognition. When a woman wants you to make a move, she begins engineering the conditions under which it can happen. She cannot control what you do, but she can control the environment. She can remove the obstacles. She can create the privacy. She suggests the two of you step outside. She volunteers to help you with something that puts you in the same space without other people around. She times her departure from a group to coincide with yours. She proposes doing something, anything, that separates the two of you from the larger social setting. She invites you somewhere where the audience disappears and the dynamic between you becomes the only thing in the room. Think about what that requires from her. She had to identify the opportunity. She had to construct a reason that sounds natural. She had to act on it while managing her own vulnerability. That is not a small investment. Women who are not interested do not work to create private moments with men. They participate in group settings and let natural separation happen without engineering alternatives. When she is actively constructing alone time with you, she is not doing it for the conversation. She is doing it because something cannot happen with other people watching. She is building the room where the moment can occur. She is setting the stage and then standing in the middle of it, waiting to see if you understand what she built it for. The stage is there. The moment is there. The only missing piece is you deciding to step into it. Number 5, she tells you she had a good time and then does not leave. This is the clearest signal on this entire list, and it is the one most men fumble most catastrophically. The interaction is winding down. She says something that functions as a goodbye, something like I should probably get going, or this was really fun, or I had a great time tonight, and then she does not leave. She stays right there. She finds another thing to say. She lingers. She is giving you the runway. She is telling you the landing is available and then staying on the tarmac waiting for you to land. The verbal statement that the evening is ending is not a goodbye. It is a test of whether you will let it end or do something about it. She has given you the signal that the moment has arrived. She has removed the excuse that you did not know the window was open. She is standing in the open window. Most men in this moment make one of two mistakes. They either accept the goodbye at face value and let her walk away, then spend the next 3 days wondering why nothing happened, or they panic, they rush, they fumble, they make the moment awkward by overthinking it so hard that the naturalness collapses. Neither of those is what she was hoping for. What she was hoping for is simple. She wanted you to look at her calmly, to hold the moment, to close the physical distance between you with quiet confidence, to let the energy that had been building between you arrive at its natural destination. She had done everything in her power to bring both of you to that door. She just needed you to be the one to open it. Because here is the fundamental truth underneath all 5 of these signals. She is not withholding from you. She is not playing games. She is not being difficult. She is communicating in the most honest way her emotional self-protection allows. She has chosen you. She has done the internal work. She has shown up in every way she knows how. And the one thing she needs from you, the only thing she cannot do herself, is for you to recognize it and lead. When you put all 5 together, the picture becomes impossible to misread. She closes the physical distance. She holds your eye contact past the point of comfort and stays in it. She reaches out and touches you and then watches what you do. She builds situations where the two of you end up alone. And when the moment arrives, she announces the ending and then refuses to leave. That is not ambiguity. That is a woman who has already made her decision, who is actively communicating it through every channel available to her without using the words she cannot bring herself to say first. She is waiting. Not forever, but right now, in this moment, she is waiting for you. The men who understand this are not the ones with the sharpest lines or the most impressive resumes. They are the ones who learned to pay attention, who stopped expecting the signal to arrive in bold capital letters and started reading the quieter language that attraction actually speaks in. And once you learn that language, you drop a comment below. Tell me which of these 5 hit you hardest. Which one made you think back to a moment you now see differently? I read every single comment and I want to know. And subscribe if you have not yet, because every week on this channel we go deeper into the psychology of attraction in ways most people will never think to look. Take care of yourselves. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching Personality with Ariba. If you enjoy videos about human personality, psychology, and behavior, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to press bell icon so you never miss any new videos. See you in the next video with another interesting personality insight. Until then, take care and keep improving yourself. This is Ariba, signing off.